This is Versailles, not the one from the paintings, the real one. Over 10,000 people live here in the tightest spaces, not by choice, by order. The king forces the nobility to stay. If you are anyone, if you matter at all, you must be here, every day, every hour. Whoever matters is here. Whoever is here cannot leave. And there is a problem. For a court made of gold and marble, almost nobody washes themselves. Water is considered an enemy. People believe it opens the pores for the plague. The fear runs deep. The memories of the Great Plague, the deaths, the masses of corpses, are still within living memory. So the dirt of decades stays on the skin, crusted, itching, alive. The dead skin cells accumulate. The sweat dries and hardens. It becomes a second skin. So nobody bathes. Not the king, not the queen, not the most powerful people in all of France. Instead, perfume, alcohol, and fabrics on the skin. This is their hygiene. This is their science. King Louis XIV bathes rarely, very rarely. The chronicles report he changes his shirt up to 15 times a day. 15. Each one is silk. Each one is embroidered. Each one is destroyed after a single wearing. This is a sign of power. Power is waste. Power is the ability to discard endlessly. Whoever has the means to dress themselves anew again and again instead of washing, they rule Versailles. The king proves this every single day of his life. When he sweats through a shirt, and in these unventilated halls he is always sweating, he simply changes. A servant appears with a new one. The old one vanishes. Someone else will wear it, or it will be burned. Waste upon waste. That is the language of power. And yet, this place is considered the pinnacle of civilization. The world looks at Versailles and sees culture, elegance, progress, refinement. The greatest minds come here. Philosophers, scientists, artists. They see a beacon. They do not see what festers underneath. They do not smell it. They do not experience it the way the servants do. They do not live with it day after day. The teeth do not just rot. They die in the jaw. Not gradually, rapidly, visibly, horrifyingly. Sugar, fresh from the colonies, is fed everywhere. It is a status symbol. The nobility gorge themselves on it. Every smile of the Sun King exposes a black ruin from which the stench of decay pours. His teeth are gone by his 50s. Many courtiers are toothless by 40. The king himself, powerful enough to command armies, cannot eat a piece of bread. Hair, centimeters thick, powdered with starch and lead, is greasy, infested with vermin. The powder does not clean. It masks. It covers. Louis wears wigs not just out of fashion. They protect against lice. They hide the evidence. But they also hide his age, his weakness, his humanity. With the wig, he remains the Sun King. Without it, he is just an old man. And then the toilets. This is the real drama of Versailles, the infrastructure, or rather, the complete lack of it. There are only a few hundred chamber pots in the entire palace. A few hundred. For 10,000 people. The math is impossible. What happens when you need to go urgently? You find a darkened alcove. Some relieve themselves wherever there is space, in hallways, behind curtains, in courtyards, in the dead of night when no one is watching. The servants follow with buckets and cloths. They clean what they can, but they cannot clean everything. The palace is too large. The problem is too vast. The latrines are connected to underground channels that lead to cesspits. The palace does have a system, but the system is overwhelmed by the endless stream of human waste. Chamber pots are occasionally emptied from windows, a practical solution, a source of danger to anyone unfortunate enough to be walking below. The Dauphine, the future queen, is hit by a warm flood of human excrement emptied directly from a golden chamber pot onto her. She is wearing her finest clothes on her way to an audience, and she is covered in filth. She walks on. This is Versailles. You say nothing. If your stomach can handle this, and you want to know how deep the abyss of history really goes, click subscribe. We show you the world as it was, not as it stands in the museum. The stench becomes legendary. Ambassadors write home about it. They cannot believe it. They cannot adequately describe it. Visitors, ambassadors from England, from Rome, from Vienna, write home. The court stinks. The gardens stink. Even the most beautiful spaces are degraded. Ludwig has orange trees placed everywhere, in pots, in vases, in every hallway and chamber, hundreds of them. They are fragrant. They are a display of wealth. They are supposed to mask the smell. The perfumed court, la cour parfumée, becomes the subtlest joke of his epic. Another terror, rats, cats, vermin of every kind. Everywhere there is waste and stench, they spread like the diseases themselves. Hunters are hired. It does no good. For every rat killed, 10 more are born. The food sources are endless. With 10,000 people in a poorly ventilated palace comes a problem. Plagues, dysentery, fever, parasites living in human bodies. They spread like fire. One person gets sick, then another. In the tight quarters, without understanding contagion, diseases move through the court like a scythe through wheat. This is not just the story of an unworthy world. This is about power. The noble bodies, powdered and perfumed, they are symbols, living symbols, walking statements. They mean, I am so rich and so powerful that dirt does nothing to me. I can be covered in the grime of thousands and still be divine. The toilets, made public, the excretions visible to all, they mean, I am king. A body like yours, but I do it in front of you. I do it without shame. That is power. Versailles was not luxury. It was a system that collapses under its own weight. A system that consumed everything: resources, people, dignity. Historians are divided today. Was Versailles truly a hell? Or did later revolutionaries, who wanted to delegitimize the monarchy, exaggerate the stories? Perhaps they did exaggerate. Perhaps there were systems in place that have been forgotten. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. There were latrines. There were systems. There were efforts. But it was not enough. It could never be enough. Not for 10,000 people in a palace designed to project power. Not to function as a living space. This is the failure of power. Not in battles, not in intrigues. The failure is visible. It is tangible. But in feces and stench. 10,000 people in a palace, without the infrastructure to preserve dignity. This is the breaking point. This is a system that collapses, and it will collapse. 70 years later, The French Revolution will storm these halls. The mob will come. They will burn. They will tear down the symbols. And underneath all the gold, all the perfume, all the silk and crystal and marble, they will find the same filth that was always there. Versailles was never clean. It was just good at hiding it. The perfume, the wigs, the fresh clothes, the orange trees, the endless performance of elegance, all of it, a mask. To hide the rot, to maintain the performance even as the foundations crumble. If what interests you is what history really shows, stay here. Subscribe to History Unfiltered, because the truth stinks most of the time. Literally, figuratively, in every way that matters. We'll see you in the next abyss.